Alrighty, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to WWE Universe Mode on the Blitzwinger channel, and this is, of course, episode number 7. We are getting closer and closer to WWE Over the Limit. We are just 3 weeks away, and of course, we've got a ton of different cool matchups set up for you today, or tonight, I should say, here on Raw and Smackdown. So first off, we're going to be kicking off Smackdown here, when we've got Brodus and David Otunga going to war. Of course, these two men were unsuccessful at competing versus The Miz at Unforgiven, but I do have to admit that the two have put on and tried to put on quite a spectacular offensive form against The Miz, and honestly, I feel like if the two did not beat the holy hell out of each other as much as they did, The Miz would not have been able to capitalize on the situation and retain his position as not only Intercontinental Champion, and of course maintain the position of the claim that he makes, where he says that there is no one who can compete against him and challenge him for that Intercontinental Championship, which is why he has now started to demand a WWE title shot. That is what he wants. He wants a title shot at CM Punk. He wants a title shot at whoever is the WWE Champion. He feels as one of the longer reigning Intercontinental Champions, he deserves that, and he says that there's no one who can challenge him, so what is the point of him being an Intercontinental Champion anymore? So we're going to kick things off here with Brodus versus Otunga. Oh god, Brodus just dodged a big right hand, and the referee was not as successful as Brodus, unfortunately. Another controversial way to kick off the show. What the hell is the Intercontinental Champion doing here? That's The Miz. The Miz is out here, and I don't think Brodus knows that. I don't think Brodus realizes that. There's that skull-crushing finale to the Brodus. My god, The Miz now. He delivers the skull-crushing finale to David Otunga as well. The Miz. My god, of course there's not going to be contenders if you do this. And The Miz has a match tonight. The Miz has to compete against Santino Marella. Could David Otunga make a much bigger O-face than that? The Intercontinental Champion, The Miz, makes his presence known here in our opening contest, and again assaults two of his potential #1 contenders tonight here. And of course, The Miz will be competing tonight in the next match, so he might as well stay out here, because he will be competing, of course, the one and only Mr. Cobra himself, Santino Marella. And I am not really understanding the logic of The Miz. He wants to contend for these for the WWE Championship, but then he does this. How does that make any sense? He was very successful here tonight, of course, not only able to take out two of his #1 contenders, but just took out Santino Marella. Now a match that a lot have been waiting for, a match that is highly regarded to be a very controversial matchup, and that is, of course, the breakup of Jack Swagger and Dolph Ziggler, and now the two will go to war here tonight in what was a spectacularly amazing technical contest. Jack Swagger, to the surprise of many, was able to overcome Dolph Ziggler. Jack Swagger, Dolph Ziggler earned a very big victory last week. However, this week, it seems like Jack Swagger had Dolph's number. It seems like Jack Swagger has figured out how Dolph Ziggler's brain ticks, and as his former partner, Jack Swagger definitely knew how to avoid a lot of the most dangerous tools available to Dolph Ziggler within his toolbox. Oh guys, I just received a big message for next week's Raw. My goodness, next week's Raw will feature The Miz defending his Intercontinental Championship after the actions that we saw The Miz display here tonight. He will defend his title against the one and only, the monstrous Ryback. My god, he wants a #1 contender. He's got one. It's going to be The Miz versus Ryback next week for the Intercontinental Championship in our main event of the evening. And what a main event it is. We're not even up to our main event this week, and I'm already excited about next week. Alrighty, next up we've got Kofi Kingston versus Epico. Kofi Kingston has the chance to once again regain that loss that he saw suffered to him at the hands of Primo, but of course Epico got involved, which is why Kofi Kingston lost. And this week, Kofi Kingston is able to get some revenge on Epico. And now, I have to be honest, the ball is definitely in Kofi's and R-Truth's yard, so to speak, because of course Kofi and R-Truth have now positioned themselves to be in a much stronger position for the tag team titles. They've won both of their singles matches against the team of Primo and Epico, But again, this is the tag team championships of the world, not the singles titles. So anything and everything can change. And Primo and Epico are becoming a deadlier and more effective tag team with each and every single moment. And in our main event of the evening, what a main event it is. It will be the two #1 contenders for the big world and WWE titles taking on the champions themselves. I believe that this is an unprecedented main event, as it will be CM Punk and Sheamus teaming up to take on the team of The Rock and Randy Orton. What a match, ladies and gentlemen. This will be a spectacular contest. I am absolutely super duper excited about this match. I'm very excited to see how the champions will be able to fare together. Of course, there is some friction there as well from the fact that Sheamus feels often disrespected by CM Punk and feels like he is not regarded as highly as Punk. So it will be definitely interesting to see how that dynamic will work. And of course, the Viper does not operate very well and does not play nicely with very many people. The Rock, the same goes for him as well. So this will be a very explosive tag team match. We've got two #1 contenders who are very hungry to get a piece of the champions, and it will be Sheamus and CM Punk, a very explosive and dynamic team teaming up, I should say, to take on the #1 contenders of The Rock and Randy Orton. I am absolutely spectacularly excited to find out how this match will unfold. And as soon as the game loads, we will find out what will happen here on the Raw Super Show. Oh God, what is that? That's Del Rio. That's Del Rio and Kane. What the hell are they doing out here? What is going on here? Was this planned? How does this make any sense? Where's the logical sense to that? The WWE Universe mode sometimes does not make very much sense. But that being said, it looks like the #1 contenders, The Rock and Sheamus, will not care about the opportunity that has been presented to them. The Rock takes down the head of CM Punk. Of course, that is the man who he wants to get a hold of. That is the man who he wants to get a piece of, because that is the man who holds the belt that The Rock wants to own. It seems like Del Rio and Kane might be trying to make a statement. They're trying to make a statement that they want to be the #1 contenders. Whatever it may be, it has been officially approved, at least for The Rock, that is, that he is the #1 contender. And the reason why I'm saying that is that, of course, sometimes the Universe Mode decides to do some weird, odd things that I can't control and might decide to change the Smackdown main event. But that being said, you know what? If I proclaim Randy Orton #1 contender, he's #1 contender. And so do the rankings, or at least right now. So Randy Orton will challenge Sheamus for the World Heavyweight Championship at Over the Limit, no matter what happens. Alrighty, a big Northern Lights suplex there from the champion, the WWE champion, CM Punk, being very effective early on here against The Rock. A big jawbreaker from Punk. Of course, Punk has the technical advantage. The Rock, as dynamic and effective as he is in the ring, he is a much more technically limited performer. CM Punk, on the other hand, is a very versatile performer. He always wrestles very physically demanding matches. He is a very, very spectacular, counter wrestler, and he proves my point right over there as he hits The Rock. Oh God, and look at this. And now the WWE champion and the World Heavyweight champion, I should say, have just regained their momentum. I'm not sure if Alberto Del Rio and Kane made their point here tonight, but that being said, that will be interesting to see how that unfolds over the weeks to come. And it looks like The Rock and Sheamus have locked up now. We'll see who's stronger. It looks like Sheamus overpowers The Rock here. The People's Champion is definitely in a ton of trouble here. He definitely wants to try to get that tag. Oh God, there's that belly-to-belly suplex from Sheamus. But he definitely wants to try to get that tag to the Viper. He needs to get the Viper into this ring right now. He's a much fresher man. He's suffered much less damage over the last few weeks. The Rock, of course, has been in very, very tremendously physical matches. They might have not been the most technical of matches, but they have all been wars. He has gone to war with Triple H. He's gone to war with Kane multiple times, which is really why I was shocked to see Kane out here tonight. So it will definitely be intriguing to see what it is that The Rock will try to do in order to make sure that he doesn't hurt himself too bad. Because, of course, we know that the last time, the reason why he couldn't compete against CM Punk at Unforgiven was due to the fact that he simply was not medically cleared and suffered too much damage in that match against Kane. And now The Rock, look at that, playing very smart here. Oh, I thought he was going to go for the tag. He's not. He's going for another elbow drop, and the second one does not pay off. And that's when The Rock's ego gets in the way. Sometimes he needs to make sure to put that ego aside. As successful as that ego has made him, he needs to remember that he needs to remain fresh for the WWE Championship match against CM Punk. He cannot afford to get injured. At this point, that would be something that would be very, very costly to his career and something that would be very damaging to him. Oh God, look at this. Sheamus with a big neck breaker right in the middle of the ring. Sheamus dictating the pace very well here. The Rock now able to get that maneuver, and he tags in the Viper, and here comes the Viper, Randy Orton. Uh-oh. What's going on here? What the hell? The Rock with a big right hand to Randy. And now The Rock just left. What the hell just happened there? What the hell was that? All three men are down now. What was that about? I don't understand those actions from The Rock. Why did he do what he just did? Did The Rock just turn his back on the entire WWE Universe? What the heck just happened there? Randy Orton in a ton of trouble now. Going 2-on-1, I should say, with two World Heavyweight Champions, one in Sheamus and the other one, of course, the WWE Champion in CM Punk. But look at him, still doing a great job here, able to get a Russian leg sweep followed with a big clothesline. Oh, look at that though, Sheamus back in it again with a big right hand. Sheamus trying to get the tag. Oh, and Randy tried to stop him, and that cost him a ton as he gets hit with a big tilt-a-whirl power slam. And now Randy Orton's got a lockup with CM Punk. Hits him with a big belly-to-belly suplex there. Right in the corner of Sheamus. Not the best position to be for the Viper. If I was him, I would try to move out of that corner. The test press by the Viper and the big right hands. I am still blown away by what just occurred here. The Rock just walked out on Randy Orton. What the hell was that all about? I am not completely certain, but that was absolutely shocking. I'm not sure what it was that pissed off The Rock. Whatever it was, I'm sure that he will explain to us at some point down the line. But again, guys, that's what I'm saying, is sometimes the universe mode makes very, very little sense. And in moments like this, I feel very lost in explaining or being able to even explain somehow the logic behind the universe mode and how it's working. So for factors like this, it's definitely not fun to play the universe mode. But then on the other hand, I get to come up with a cool storyline for you guys to enjoy in terms of why The Rock did what he did. A nice neck breaker here from Randy Orton. And now Orton, Orton again in trouble. I cannot believe, oh God, can he get the win here? 1, 2, 3. Oh God, CM Punk kicks at the last moment. My goodness, he kicked out in the very last moment, but Orton nearly had the victory, and the big right hand just opened up the WWE Champion. Orton now taking down Sheamus, and Orton is starting to fire on all cylinders. Orton very, very dangerous here. Oh, and a good counter belly-to-belly suplex by CM Punk, the WWE Champion, delivering a lot of damage to Randy Orton here. Sending Orton to the outside, something that we see usually Orton do. But now Orton, gets hit with a big suplex, brought back into the ring. What's he going for now? Again, right to the outside. CM Punk acting very interestingly here tonight, acting in a very technical manner. I think he realizes that he and Sheamus have got this big advantage at this point over Orton, and he sends Orton to the outside again. Can he keep doing this? Can he keep delivering the same? Oh God, he's got him again. Will the trifecta be successful? Yes, it is. CM Punk now has delivered a tremendous amount of punishment to Randy Orton, and oh God, come on. This has almost become a joke. CM Punk just completely abusing Randy Orton here. Completely abusing his dominance and his dominant position here. But now Orton fires Punk back. And now Orton with the test press out of nowhere. The big right hands to CM Punk's temple. And here we go. Big knee drop by Randy Orton. Randy Orton's ready to fire off on all cylinders. Randy Orton. Big clothesline from Orton. And another one. And another one. Oh no, the power slam. Nicely done by Randy. And now Randy Orton has picked up CM Punk. It's that big backbreaker out of nowhere. Orton has targeted Sheamus again. And now Orton has signaled for CM Punk to get up. The Viper wants to strike. The Viper wants to strike. Can he win this match all by himself? Oh, CM Punk's still in this. And now Orton, RKO out of nowhere. After a little bit of turmoil, the RKO is still delivered. And now Orton has got the pin. Can he get him? 1, Oh my God, CM Punk kicks out at 1. And now Punk, out of nowhere, a big elbow from Punk. In all this ruckus and confusion, Orton might have wasted a little too much time focusing on Sheamus. And that might cost him the match here. 1, 2, 3. The WWE Champion CM Punk and Sheamus, the World Heavyweight Champion, are victorious here tonight on Monday Night Raw after an incredibly shocking event where The Rock, the People's Champion, walks out on Randy Orton and what I have to presume to be on the people as well. What does this all mean for the WWE Championship? Does this mean that The Rock doesn't want to contend for it? What does it all mean? I guess we'll get to find out on next week's Monday Night Raw. My goodness, CM Punk bloodied and battered, but as much as I thought that this team would not be able to work together, they are very successful here tonight. But you have to attribute it very, very much so to the fact that The Rock walked out on Orton. Orton was left alone and he put up a hell of a fight. And look at this. Look at this. My God, I thought I'd never see that. It looks like Sheamus and Punk are now on the same page. Finally, we see our two champions. I guess considering that they've adopted very similar strategies, they've kind of started to respect each other, interestingly enough. What a Raw, ladies and gentlemen. What a Raw indeed. So without further ado, let's get rolling to Smackdown. An absolutely spectacular episode of Raw. And of course, don't forget, next week's main event on Raw will be Ryback versus The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship. So right here on SmackDown, looks like we've got quite a solid match card put together. Interestingly enough, after last week's event, Randy Orton has accepted an open challenge from Bryan for the main event match of the night. Of course, Randy Orton in a very interesting predicament there during the main event of Raw this past week, where The Rock walked out on Orton. Definitely a lot of question marks left up in the air, so make sure to tune in to Raw next week to find out what happened. But that being said, our opening match of the night went very well, finally, for Primo and Epico, as they are able to overcome the tag team champions R-Truth and Kofi Kingston in what was a very, very quickly and highly paced match. A very spectacular match, and really showcased what I had pointed out previously, and that is that tag team and singles wrestling is very, very different. Even though Kofi Kingston was able to overcome Primo and Epico on Raw in a singles match, here tonight on SmackDown, Primo and Epico overcome the WWE Tag Team Champions. Jimmy Uso takes on Heath Slater and is unfortunately unsuccessful as the leader of the three-man band. Heath Slater has just rocked tonight and got himself a very solid victory. The brother of Jimmy Uso, for some reason, is in a triple threat match. I definitely need to look into that. Throw them in, make sure that they start competing in tag team matches. I don't really know how the Universe Mode decides on this, but we had Kurt Angle debut here tonight in what was a very, very cool triple threat contest where he was able to overcome the challenge of Jey Uso and Tensai himself. Finally, in our co-main event of the evening, we had some cruiserweight action where Justin Gabriel was able to earn himself another W and position himself as the #1 contender for Cody Rhodes' cruiserweight title. And finally, in our main event of the evening, we have Randy Orton going one-on-one against the one and only, the submission technician, Bryan. Whether Bryan is going to be screaming yes, 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 or no, 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 Bryan is always a very difficult task to handle. He's a very tricky performer in the ring, and tonight he has a chance to potentially down the line secure himself a #1 contender spot. A very interesting predicament that Orton agreed to put potentially his #1 contender spot at risk by competing against Bryan here tonight. But when I talked to Orton backstage after finding out that he had accepted this challenge here tonight, Orton told me that when he becomes champion, he's going to be taking on all comers anyway, so it doesn't matter at this point whether or not he competes against Bryan right now or down the line. As far as when I asked him, what about The Rock? What happened there? Oh, Sheamus, the World Heavyweight Champion, just made his way to the ring. What's he doing here? He's just joined me right here at commentary. Interestingly enough, Sheamus is right here in commentary next to us. That definitely adds a little bit more factors into this match, and Orton opens up the contest with a big clothesline and a couple of kicks and right hands there to Daniel Bryan. This will definitely be a solid technical match, but when I asked Randy Orton about The Rock, all he said was no comment and walked away. So, of course, Randy Orton, as you can see, he has no clue about what had transpired on Raw either. He's not sure as to why The Rock did what he did. We will all have to tune in to Raw when The Rock will address the fans and explain his actions. He will explain why he did what he did. And I am all ears to find out what will happen. But that being said, let's not take away from this amazing main event that we've got set up for you guys here tonight. Oh, nice dropkick by Randy Orton, who nearly takes the head of Daniel Bryan off his shoulders. Bryan with a quick kick out there at 1. And Orton quickly back on the offense. Of course, Sheamus has joined me here at ringside. And of course, Sheamus was in that tag team match, so maybe he got a closer perspective as far as any thoughts on the match that he has would definitely be informative. And yeah, it looks like he's pointing. No, he doesn't want to talk to us for some reason. I'm not sure what he's doing out here. Maybe just scouting his potential #1 contenders, of course. He knows that Orton will be his challenge, but who knows? With the victory here tonight, Daniel Bryan might as well get himself a #1 contender spot and might compete against Sheamus. If not at Over the Limit, definitely at some point down the line. Oh, and now Bryan with a big lariat to the temple of Randy Orton. What's Daniel Bryan going for here now? Oh, look at that. And he seems to be talking some trash right here to Sheamus, or at least trying to scream some sort of not very positive messages towards the World Heavyweight Champion Sheamus here. And look at that. That's what I was talking about. That technical background of Daniel Bryan, of course. These two competitors are arguably the two most technically gifted competitors on the entire WWE roster, so it is definitely fun to see the two go to war here tonight on Smackdown, and this is why you tune into Smackdown, to see incredible technical wrestling like we are seeing right now. And look at this now. Orton is up, and now Orton is starting to deliver a little bit of offense. Unfortunately, he could not maintain that for a long while, as Bryan delivers a big dropkick right to nearly the neck area of Randy Orton in the corner there. And now Bryan lefts and rights, fires off very successfully there. Bryan with a big kick right to the chest and a good shot right to the bicep there of Randy Orton. Orton misses a big clothesline and now fires off with his own lefts and rights. And now they're making their way outside the ring right here in front of us. And Sheamus, of course, the World Heavyweight Champion. Interestingly enough, Sheamus has stayed calm, sitting quietly here. Has not reacted in any way, shape, or form, at least not yet. And now look at Orton. Orton has just walked up right to Sheamus here. And he's almost dared Sheamus to act up or something. He's just talking smack to Sheamus, interestingly enough there. And now Orton sending Daniel Bryan back into the ring after realizing that we are already at the 5 count. Oh, nice reversal though by Daniel Bryan, but he eats a big clothesline for his troubles. And now it looks like Randy Orton's ready to fire up and fire off on all cylinders here. Here we go now. Orton with a big backbreaker to Daniel Bryan, and Orton is saying that it is night time. It is time to bring the end to the show, he says, as he's ready to strike with the RKO. Randy Orton says that it's over. Let's see if he's successful. 1, 2. Oh my god, a kick out by Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan kicks out of that RKO. As impressive as it was, Daniel Bryan wants that potential spot as #1 contender, and he can steal it here tonight from Randy Orton. The Northern Light suplex might earn him that. Now Bryan, what's Bryan going for? Here we go. Here comes those technical submissions, the application of the submissions. Of course, something that Daniel Bryan has got almost a unique selling proposition on the roster right now, because he's the only one that can offer such a diverse version of attacks, such an incredible diversity of submissions that he offers up to any challenger that is ready to take him on. Of course, last week's main event, when Randy Orton was able to overcome Mark Henry, we saw Daniel Bryan make his voice heard, and he came out there and we saw a little bit of a confrontation between him and Randy Orton. Tonight we're seeing a full-blown confrontation as the two go to war, and wow, Orton just busted Bryan open with that big right hand. And now Orton's heading to the top, delivers a big stomp right to the chest of Daniel Bryan. Here we go, 1. Good kick out there by Bryan. Bryan's still in this, very, very competitive here tonight. As competitive as he has been, we can see that focus and that determination that Randy Orton has now shown. He wants to be the world champion. Randy Orton has not held a world title, or any title for that matter, in quite a while now. And he believes that at Over the Limit, he will regain his position at the top of the mountain, at the top of the food chain, as the Viper will regain the World Heavyweight title and become a world champion once again, after which he said that he will take on all newcomers and all challengers, and he will offer up to defend the title against whoever wants a challenge, and he is ready to go to war with anyone and everyone. And I have to admire that. Of course, Sheamus has taken a much more different approach. He has said that he feels like he has defeated everyone already, and he feels like he has gotten to a point where he does not have to defend his title all the time, which is why he said that he felt insulted by the fact that Orton feels like he has earned a title shot by simply defeating Mark Henry, who Sheamus says, I destroyed Mark Henry at Unforgiven. Mark Henry offered up no resistance to me. So why is it that all of a sudden Randy Orton feels like by defeating Mark Henry he earns himself a shot? I would differ with that argument, because of course Randy Orton also had a very, very solid victory over Chris Jericho at Unforgiven. And speaking of, at that, of course, at the Raw main event this past week, we saw Randy Orton fare very well against both the WWE Champion and the World Heavyweight Champion, Sheamus. So I'm not sure if I agree with this whole argument. Oh god, look at this. It looks like Bryan might be satisfied with just a count-out victory, but I don't think Orton's going to satisfy that satisfaction that Bryan was hoping for. A big right hand there by Orton, and Bryan fires right back. And now Bryan has got the back of Randy Orton, delivers a big Russian leg sweep for a punishment and a little bit of damage, of course. It looks like Bryan might be targeting another submission hold here, maybe. Oh no, he's just going to go for the knee of Randy Orton. Very smart, of course. Daniel Bryan, as much as he has the issues always. Oh god, there's the RKO out of nowhere. Where the hell did that come from? My god, the Viper strikes again. And this has got to be it. 2, 3. The Viper wins, and the Viper rolls on as #1 contender for WWE Over the Limit. 2 weeks away at this point. My goodness, what a match here tonight. An absolutely spectacular main event contest as Randy Orton is able to overcome Daniel Bryan with an RKO absolutely positively out of nowhere. When they say that the RKO can be hit out of nowhere, this is exactly what they're talking about, is that Randy Orton can hit the switch and hit that maneuver out of nowhere. I did not even expect that move to be coming, and then bam, out of nowhere, he hits it, 1, 2, 3, and the success goes to Randy Orton once again, who's now posing down here, and he's staring down at Sheamus. Sheamus is definitely interested in the fact that now the #1 contender has showcased once again how dangerous he is here tonight. Randy Orton, very impressive, and that brings another episode of WWE Universe Mode on the Blitzwinger channel to an epic conclusion. Make sure to tune in next time, as on Smackdown, we will find out how this relationship and dynamic between the RKO, Randy Orton, and Sheamus unfolds. And of course, guys, on Raw, we will find out why The Rock did what he did. Why did he decide to walk out on Randy Orton? What was the motives? We will find that out on Raw. And on top of that, of course, we've got a very, very stellar main event for you, as it will be the debut of the Monster Ryback against The Miz. Will the Ryback be able to put an end to the long reign of The Miz as Intercontinental Champion, or will it be another night where The Miz will scream, "I'm awesome"? Make sure to tune in next time. If you guys enjoyed this episode, hit that like button, subscribe, share the videos, and favorite the videos. Thank you very much for watching. You guys are freaking awesome. I'll catch you guys back next time with another WWE Universe Mode. You guys are awesome. Peace out, and see you later.